Hey, hey. So I've already recorded this part, but seems like I forgot to turn OBS microphone on. So I'll do it again. Last time I had a mission where I fought superior numbers, and I thought, how much of a tech difference can you defeat? And I did a mission where I designed a 1920s battleship against the 1930s one. In a 1920s battleship, that's at the end of the Dreadnought era. While a 1930 ship, that's the beginning of the modern battleships. And I've made 1914 designs that loses to 1930 designs because they still get access to the really big guns. They get access to radar too. They can be very effective. So, is it possible to defeat a ship that can defeat 1940s battleships with your own 1920s ship like this? This ship might have been top of the line at the Battle of Jutland, if that happened, a few years later. But I really don't think it should have any chance against a modern battleship. But let's see. I am abusing speed as normal. Beam drought down in the gutters. Other than that, I went for the 14 inches because if you can see on the guns here, there's a stark jump from 14 to 15 inches by it's a Mark III gun versus a Mark 1. And that means you get all kinds of benefits, and it's still at a lower weight. It shows that it's higher weight now because I increased the barrel size and the size of the ammunition or the shell diameter, but you still get a lot more for your weight with this 14 incher than going with a 15 one. Other than that, I went with a fairly compact design, fairly well armored. So let's see how that went. So let's see what we're up against here. It seems like the enemy has eight 15-inch barrels. And I find that the 15 inches is probably your best value for weight. So it seems like the enemy has something good going on there. So the design seems okay, but I have to give it to the AI. Those 2 inches that are mounted on a elevated barbette behind the main guns, they just don't make a lot of sense. Notice how I'm developing the dreaded targeting bug right now. You briefly saw my accuracy go down into the minus tens of thousands. And if that happens, you just have to click your opponent and make it restart the targeting process. Now, I haven't identified the enemy just yet, but just looking at the top of this ship, you can tell that he has a low amount of frontal deck armor. Now, looking at the design, since we've finally been able to identify the class, it seems like it's a fairly well-balanced ship of its time. Other than the armor, you can see the fore and aft deck armor is fairly low, and then also the aft belt is kind of low as well. But especially at this age, the deck armor should be better. Otherwise, I really enjoy the gun layout, except, those 2-inch elevated barbettes, they don't make any sense. you can clearly see that the damage I'm putting on his front deck is starting to accumulate, and it seems like once you've actually destroyed the entire that section, that it becomes red in the upper right overview. It seems like you're able to push the damage further inwards into the ship, and that's at this point, you know, the ship is going down at some point. Once the engine room starts flooding like that, there's not really much they can do to recover. Without the engines, you get so much negatives to fixing, especially flooding. And with the fires they're having now, this is pretty much decided. And with that, the Magnificent is going to rest at the bottom of the sea. I thought it was actually pretty okay this match. I am abusing the speed, and I really hope it's getting fixed soon, because I tend to abuse this sort of things, and I can't help myself. So, devs, please. So lately I've been watching eBay, and I've been thinking about reliving some old boomer glory. So I went ahead and bought myself some old computers, 4086s, Pentiums, maybe something more in the Windows XP era. But I'm thinking about making content for that as well, because it's the sort of thing I kind of like. I'm not sure how much it's going to fit in with the other videos I'm making here, but I'm probably going to enjoy it, and I hope you will as well.